Hey guys, today I want to show you the completion of the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 ritual that went missing on March 8th, 2014. MH370 was a Boeing 777 and went missing in the southern Indian Ocean. And right off the bat here, I'm going to show you the ritual with the flight number of 370. If we take the sum of the magic square of Mars and Saturn, 325 and 45, sum to 370. And if we're going to take a look at the last Saturn-Mars conjunction, that was on March 31st, 2020. And we have the 7-year anniversary coming up on March 8th, 2021. And I'll show you why the 7-year anniversary here is so important to the completion of this ritual. But from the last Saturn-Mars conjunction to the 7-year anniversary of the disappearance is a total of 343 days. And it was a Boeing 777 that went missing. And the prime factorization of 343 is 7 times 7 times 7 for our Boeing 777. But what's interesting about this ritual and the 7-year anniversary is that the 239 people on board this plane are still presumed dead, and the plane is still presumed missing in the southern Indian Ocean. And it's not after a 7-year period that they can legally be declared dead. A presumption of death occurs when a person is legally declared dead despite the absence of direct proof of the person's death. And that 7-year period is up on March 8th, 2021 here. Most countries have a set period of time of 7 years where an individual that's presumed dead can be declared legally dead. So on March 8th, 2021, all the passengers and crew of the MH370 can be officially declared dead. And on that day just happens to be the day that Mars, the planet Mars, which was part of the magic square of the number of the flight. But on March 8th, 2021, we have Mars crossing the Golden Gate of the Ecliptic located in Taurus. Showed you guys this before, but the Golden Gate of the Ecliptic is an asterism in the constellation Taurus. And it's between the Pleiades and Hyades star clusters. Here's the Pleiades and the Hyades. So here would be the Golden Gate of the Ecliptic. And on the anniversary, the 7-year anniversary of MH370, we have Mars crossing this Golden Gate on a day that they can be officially declared. Now if we take a look at some other interesting things about this Malaysian Airlines Flight 370, it was the 404th Boeing 777 produced, and that's a very significant number to Revelation. There are 404 total verses in Revelation. And if we take the date that that the plane disappeared on March 8th, 2014, and we go 404 weeks for our 404 verses in our 404th plane, gets us to December 4th, 2021. It just happens to be a total solar eclipse on December 4th, 2021 that will be visible over Antarctica. And what I did here on Google Earth is I drew a line from Kuala Lumpur Airport where Flight 370 took off, and I drew the line to the eclipse, to the maximum eclipse point. It's happening 404 weeks after it took off. But on the way to that eclipse point, we have this pin here, the Malaysia 370 debris. And if we go back to the information here, where I got those coordinates, that debris is right at this coordinates. That's where I dropped my pin. So the plane was definitely flying towards the eclipse. That was 404 weeks after the 404th plane. Definitely an eclipse ritual for that total solar eclipse that will be visible over Antarctica. And then the 7-year anniversary, Mars will be crossing the Golden Gate. I want to show you some other Boeing 777 rituals here. This video is actually only part 1. I have to do a part 2. I didn't want this part to be too long, or the second part to be too long, so I split it up. But we're going to take a look at the 1st and 7th Boeing 777s that were lost, their 1st and 7th hull losses. So if you look at this Wikipedia page under accidents and incidents, the first hull loss of a 777 occurred on January 17th, 2008. Now I want to show you that in relation to 9/11. So we had the first loss of a Boeing 777 on January 17th, 2008, which was 2,319 days after 9/11. And I've covered that 2319 many times. I have a whole video with the 2319, and the second part of this video will be all about the 2319 as well. But the first hull loss was 2,319 days after 9/11. Now if we take a look at the 7th hull loss, that was on November 29th, 2017. Singapore Airlines 777 experienced a fire while being towed at the Singapore airport. Now what's kind of interesting about this Singapore is that there was a annular solar eclipse on December 26, 2019. The path of totality just happened to catch the bottom of the tip of Singapore here. I didn't do too much research into the date-to-dates, but just interesting that we have a annular solar eclipse path here that went right over Singapore, and I'll show you a couple Singapore rituals with the 777. But the 7th hull loss was November 29th, 2017. I want to show you that in relation to 9/11 as well. Now I have the exact time and the time zones plugged in here for the 9/11 and the 7th loss of the 777. 9/11/01, the first plane hit at 8:46. We go to 11/29/2017 Singapore time. New York time to Singapore time, and it's exactly 846 weeks. First plane hit at 8:46. Now this is part of the Age of Aquarius ritual. Age of Aquarius sums to 846 in the Sumerian, and anything that sums to 141 in ordinal sums to 846 in Sumerian. It's just, you just take it times 6. And of course, Aquarius is an air sign, and we're talking about airplanes here. World War III, 141 and 846. Of course, 141, number I talk about quite a bit. 811 is the 141st prime number. And my channel is all about Revelation 8:11. So another part of this ritual here is the actual plane itself. That went missing 846 weeks, or started on fire 846 weeks after 9/11. This Boeing 777, the first flight was on 1/14/2003. Like I said before, the next video will have more about the 2319, but the prime factorization of 114 is 2 times 3 times 19. But that plane that burned up on the runway at Singapore was first flight 11403. And you can see that it burned up during its 777th week. This was the 7th loss. It burned up during the 777th week. Then we had another Singapore Airlines 777 catch fire on June 27th, 2016. So if we take a look at Malaysian Airlines MH370, and we go to this date 6/27/2016. So we had 2 Singapore 777s catch fire, and the second one here, or the one in between, was 2 years, 3 months, 19 days after MH370, another 2319. Now another part of this ritual I want to show you guys with eclipses. Of course, an eclipse is when the moon occults the sun and exposes the corona. But if we take a look at the first image that was released of a black hole back on April 10th, 2019, 4/10/2019, to this upcoming eclipse, it's 969 days. Now here's Revelation 8:11, the 141st verse, 8:11, the 141st prime. But if we start our base 10 and base 12 daisy chain, if you want to daisy chain these numbers, starting with the 141, 141 to 193, 255. But if we daisy chain the base 12, base 10 conversion there, we end up with 969, 1377, and 2251 here that I have highlighted. Well, 1377 is the English ordinal value of Revelation 8:11, and the previous base 10, base 12 conversion is 969. 969 days after the first image of a black hole is the eclipse over Antarctica. And an eclipse, a total solar eclipse, looks like a black hole. I just want to do a quick video here, the 7-year anniversary of the MH370. Mars will cross the Golden Gate, located in Taurus. And another Mars reference here with the 777. If you look at the Jade Mars in Paris, this is a view from the Eiffel Tower of Jade Mars. Our most famous pictures of the Eiffel Tower are taken from the Jade Mars. And I've shown you guys this before, but was 777 days from the beginning to the completion of the Eiffel Tower. It's the iota, the alpha, and the omega, which sum to 811. That's what the Eiffel Tower is, the iota, the alpha, and the omega, stacked on top of each other. And if we look at the book of Revelation, the alpha and the omega are referred to in 4 verses in Revelation, the 8th, 11th, 362nd, and 396th verses. That sums to 777. Okay guys, the next video is going to be more about the Boeing 777. We just had the Flight 328 lose its engine over Denver, Colorado on 1/14, or excuse me, on February 20th. And it was Flight 328. And if we had 328 days to the date that this happened, it's 1/14/2022 or 23/19. But I'll do more of that in the second part, more about the Boeing 777. Okay guys, thanks for watching.